Saturday, 31st of May, 2025 at 11:18 a.m. in the proper city of Snohomish, Washington, United States of America. Welcome once again to our cosmic journey. It is your Dev and Design podcast featuring two gentlemen astrologers, extraordinaires, making the world's best astrology software. Extraordinaire Jake is here. Extraordinaire Trey is over there. Hello, Trey. Oh, two camera set up.
Oh.
We're at the library.
We're so tiny over there, though.
I'm tiny over here. I'm like 4'7", and over here I'm huge in the screen.
Yeah, we had to move the chair because the librarian was concerned about blocking the door.
Yeah, we need egress. How are you doing, Mr. Henry?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, hanging in there. How are you doing?
Oh, fine. After having to reset up the camera and everything, I don't know. The thing about this week, it might show in the work. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but I feel like everything is such a struggle, and I just want things to go easier.
Yeah, it has been a struggle bus of a week for Cosmic. We've gotten a lot done, but it's definitely been like I'm just thinking about the Storybook upgrade, which ended up
we had no reason. So our friends at Storybook created Storybook 9. It's great. It has all of this component testing. Really good. I'm very excited to get that all integrated. There's no reason to do that before milestone 1, and I'm like, I'll just do it. And then I ruined the build.
No, it wasn't your fault, because the part of the reason why it was broken was because we had package dependency issues before that already, and it was actually good because we ended up resolving those issues. Yeah. So it just ended up taking a little bit longer than we wanted it to. Whatever. Stuff happens.
It's fine. You know what? You've already made it canon that you swear in this podcast, and I don't. It's absolutely fine. Today's episode is called Flex Time, mostly because we've just done a cast chart dialogue that is finally wired up.
It has some surprises.
And it has some surprises. We love surprises over here.
Everybody loves surprises.
We will do Trey's check-in question. Then we'll look at the cast chart. Then I also am very excited that I finally feel like I made a light mode that looks nice. We can.
So good. I love it.
You be the judge. You let us know in the comments. You do every week. Let us know in the comments whether you like it or not.
Yeah, don't hold those opinions back.
Why don't you just put those weights down for a second? Type in a comment, because we know that you're watching this while you are lifting weights or doing cardio.
Yeah.
You all are doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, but before we get to you giving us a comment, of course, we always start with the check-in question. Mr. Henry?
Favorite physical office supply, non-digital office supply.
So my favorite piece of office stationery, I'm going to use the British term, office stationery.
Wait, does stationery include everything that's like an office supply?
Yes.
Really?
Isn't that crazy, by the way?
That's weird. A ruler is stationery? Come on.
You go to a stationery store and I'm like, well, you need to buy more than just stationery, but office stationery to Brits, as far as I am to understand it. You let me know in the comments.
Yeah.
You do every week. That is everything. So what I would of course say, and I think at this point it's a cliche, is the Laminator. Laminators,
good answer,
are the best because it takes something that is so temporary or so fragile, such as a piece of paper, and you're like, this piece of paper is so valuable that I need to preserve it until the end of time. I need to preserve it so much so that it will shred into microplastics and go into dolphins. And so the Laminator is there to consecrate something from a form into something of permanence.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Oh, yeah,
I love it.
Laminators are great. I do love a Laminator.
A very small step below the Laminator that is still very good is the portfolio book with the plastic sheets.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. I actually thought you were going to say binder with plastic sheets.
I know. That's a number 2. But there's something to be said about putting something in a plastic sheet in a binder, which can be taken out, and then the Laminator, which is like, no. This
it's permanent.
This shall stand like this forever. So if you're ever looking for a Christmas present, dear viewer, a Laminator works great. Make sure to also get it in 210 and 120 so that we have a Laminator in both continents, because I need to laminate in both continents, if that would be 220 and 110. I can't, 120, 220.
It's like A4 and letter, right?
Oh yeah, and then, I mean, my God. A4 is by far the superior format. Let's be clear.
Although I feel like the laminators always have like an extra border around the side.
But then, do you trim? I don't know.
I don't think you're allowed to trim because then it peels apart.
I understand that.
Yeah.
It's a real pickle. It's a real conundrum. What about you, Mr. Henry? What is your favorite piece of office stationery?
You know, I thought I had this one in the bag, sort of like the hoodie one, and now I'm like, no, wait, I think Laminator might be.
Take a look at that episode up there to go into the hoodie discussion, where Mr. Henry was convinced that he knew the right hoodie configuration. But now, what is your physical office supply?
Yeah. So I bet that any viewer who might be working out while watching or listening to this might agree with me on this one.
We'll see.
That it's the ruler that has the bar wheel in it, so that when you move the ruler, it's always at the same line.
No, I appreciate the idea.
Wait, you can't say that mine's a no.
It's a no. It's a hard no. It's janky. I used to have one of these.
No. They have them that are really good.
Show me. You know what? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Feel free. Right down there. It's right under this table. Put down your weights. Write the comment down here.
Or when you're done working out. We don't want to
No. You're not going to remember when you're done working out. Do it now.
But they're so great because you could do this just like a set of lines that are exactly in the same parallel.
I am 100% on this train. I will tell you that every time I've had one of these rulers, it's jank.
Yeah, but they're not all created equal. There are really good ones.
Show me. You can't show me.
I can't show you right now.
You know what? To be resolved in cycle 90, allegedly when we were supposed to release our software, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah, we should probably give
No, we shouldn't.
We'll do it next time.
I mean,
we've got one more week technically.
We'll do it. We'll do it later. I don't know.
Surprise! It's gonna slip a little.
No, but yeah, I was having a conversation here. Let's just go to me. This is my big feelings. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine and talking about how frustrated I was about how the progress of things were going slow. We're not getting anything done. I don't feel like we're getting enough done. And I just feel like we're always uncovering we're moving a rock into the rock wall. And then all of a sudden, something comes apart or something. It's just I just want it to all work together. Technology is so fickle and it makes me upset. And this is nothing to do with anything. If we had investors or we had a VC company that was funding us, this would be a whole different story. This is just Trey and I. I actually think that there's more pressure now because it's just Trey and I.
Yeah. And we have been working our butts off.
Yeah. And that's the other thing of there's times when I'm watching some garbage program because I need to decompress and I'm I should be working. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure.
Shake off the feelings. Mr. Henry, do you want to talk a little bit about what made the casting of charts so danged to this week?
It's ding-dang.
It's ding-dang doodled.
Yeah. So we showed before how we had a casting dialogue, but a lot of it wasn't fully wired up yet. So that was kind of my big job this cycle was to wire up all of the parts of the cast component. Which includes, the location picker and actually wiring that up to the data model and date time selection and also adding time zone that's actually all wired up. So anyway, there was a lot of moving pieces in there. And looking back on it now, I probably would have costed it more than I actually did. But anyway, we got some really sweet wins in this one though. So I'm very excited to demo this. So here we are on the the blank chart list page, which will be populated soon. But when you click the cast chart button, now we actually get a chart dialog. And this is showing us, it just sort of defaults to the current user's location and to now. So this is currently this now chart. And if I just say cast this, then we see that chart. So cool. Now I'm going to put in my birth details. So I'm going to say Carson City, which is where I was born, of course. And then I'm going to come here and I'm going to type Feb 28, 1974. And you'll notice that this is like not a necessarily like quote unquote correctly formatted date. This isn't actually any kind of date format, but it's relatively close. And if I tab out of this selector, you will see that it has done the right thing.
Ooh.
So it has correctly parsed that. We also have the date selector, which we've shown before. Carson City on the 28th of February, 1974. I was born at 2 p.m. So I'm going to type 14, and then it automatically switches to p.m. And then in the dropdown here, you can see that I can select PDT or UTC. And as I change this, you'll see, and also when I change the, like if I change this to 15, for example, and tab out of it, you'll see that the big three are updating as you would expect in this particular case. So and I can verify that my ascendant is in Cancer at about 16 degrees. And if I cast this chart, then you will see that this is my chart. How will you know? Because my Mercury is all screwed up.
That's how we always know that's Trey's chart, that debilitated Mercury. Wow, what a mess.
What a mess. So so this is really, really cool. There's another thing that I want to show.
Why don't you, well, before you show that, why don't we cast my chart? So can you type a date in that's not of like Jan 31, 1979?
Yeah. Let's try something else. Yeah. You tell me what to type. So we're going to say Libertyville, Illinois.
That's right. And then if you type 31 Jan 79, so like I'm in Europe, does that work?
Look at that.
Whoa. That was unplanned. It looked like what I just did. Sorry, let me go back over here. It looked like what I just did was like, there's got to be a better way type of infomercial prompting on that one. I had no idea if this was going to work.
Yeah, so, no, that was live.
Yeah, that was live. I could tell from Trey's like wry little smile that it was going to work, but you know what?
What's your birth time? I know it's in the evening.
It's 2045.
2045. And you can also see that CST has the zone is correctly updated. Would you say that your ascendant is in Virgo around 25 degrees?
Indeed it is.
And voila, there's your chart.
Voila.
Okay, so, and how do we know your chart? Because Saturn is in your first. Look at that.
Yeah, and my Mercury is pretty good too. If I remember, it's in my, sixth?
Sixth.
Right?
Yeah. Because you've got Mercury, Sun, and then Mars right in the middle of it too. Which we'd be able to see if we had an actual chart. Coming soon. Okay, but there is one more thing that I wanted to show of the even coolerness of this date selector. You can say things like next Tuesday. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Or 3 weeks ago. So anyone who's familiar with modern applications like Notion, for example, this works very, very similar to Notion. In fact, we're probably under the covers using the same libraries.
Can you here, let's do a little test here.
Yeah.
So let's do 3 weeks from Monday.
3 weeks from Monday.
That worked.
I mean, let's see.
Yes. Wait.
3 weeks from Monday would be a Monday.
But no,
that's
June
the 2nd.
No, that's just Monday.
That's just Monday.
That's just Monday.
Okay, so
can you do Monday plus 3 weeks?
Monday.
Look, we should talk more about this.
3 weeks.
Oh my God.
That one worked.
Oh, that's so crazy. So that's Monday plus 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. What? Why would that work?
Yeah, so there's some crazy stuff this thing can do. Also, we can, if there are certain things that we want it to be able to do that like users are saying, it would be really nice if I could just type this, then we can actually create our own custom rules
like Boxing Day or
yeah.
You're
exactly.
like, what is Boxing Day? It's day after Christmas. Day after Christmas.
No.
But we've now hit the other thing that you want to talk about here.
Yeah, so which is that if something is incorrect or you've created or you've tried to enter a time which is not parsable, basically, then we give you this nice little message, basically saying like, hey, it didn't work. Also, our first Easter egg is in the product, and I'm not going to talk about it because what would be the fun of talking about an Easter egg?
No, you got to find it.
Although,
I did look in the code. I was looking over Trey's shoulder and saw in the code where the Easter egg was, and I remember what it is. I'll just tell you that if you try a number that is more theoretical in nature, you might hit the Easter egg.
Anyway, so yeah, so this is really cool. I'm so happy about this. I was really excited when, um, when this all got wired up. And it's just, yeah, it works really, really nicely. Like I said, there's a little bit of rough around the edges parts, but we're still working on those, particularly around key combinations. So, there's always like trickiness with like, oh, I entered a date and then I hit enter, but it wasn't valid. But then the enter says like cast the chart.
Yeah.
And then what do we do?
We're still
So it's
working through all of that.
yeah,
stuff.
there's some kind of corner cases there, but it'll be really great for once we get there. And then as soon as we get those little bits ironed out, I am starting on actually showing a chart.
Right. So the way that
Hooray!
the way that chart rendering is going to work is that at a certain screen size, it will render as a circle. Below that screen size, it will render like a list. The list won't look exactly like this.
Yeah.
But it will resemble something like this,
Yeah.
which essentially says, here are little cards that are each of the placements with the kind of critical information for each of those placements that you would want to see if you were on a pretty small screen.
Yeah. It's important probably to point out as well that we will have part of the thing that has always been in the design but has never been implemented is that the detail portion, so when you're looking at a point's detail, aspects will actually be listed here as well.
Yeah, there's two things that are missing from this screen over here. One is the aspects. Two is the condition of the ruler of that point. So
yeah,
those two things will come in probably most definitely after cycle 90. My goal.
Do you think we'll have the list view?
Probably not.
Yeah, maybe not.
So the goal for cycle 90. Let's talk about that for a second. The goal for cycle 90, I've not talked to Trey about this, so he might react very poorly to this, but that's why I put him on camera so he can't yell at me.
I've also had big feelings today, so
yeah, he's got big feelings today. Great. The goal for cycle 90 is to have something that we can put into a discrete number of people's hands, including me and Trey and probably one or two other people that we would trust to give us feedback to say, here generally, like we know that this thing is not completely functional astrological software, but I can do this amount of stuff with it and I can see whether it's working or not. And then we can start fixing the bugs from there. I think that's what we should do for cycle 90. And then soon thereafter, what I'll do is I'll make an announcement to the list of people that were on the Urania list, say we're getting ready to go. We're very excited, like get them all pumped up, send out a download link after we fix our initial bugs on that and thing, and just let people know there's a lot of things that are not working with this thing yet.
Yeah. But there are some things that we can't say are not working, like for example, showing a chart.
You have to show a chart.
We have to have a chart list, probably.
Kind of the thing. Yeah, you need a chart list. You need to show a chart.
We have to show aspects in detail. Like there's a few things I think we're going to have.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then also, even if we're going to, because we still have some work that we have to do in order to actually package up the application as well. Right. So
we're hoping that ChatGPT will help us out.
Oh, definitely.
A lot with that.
Codex.
Yeah,
100%.
Because we don't want to do that ourselves.
No, and it's already really a solved problem. Like bundling electron apps for multiple platforms is like really something that AI should really be able to do well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, there's one more thing that I wanted to show though, which I'm also incredibly excited about. So here we have light mode.
Ooh, this way. Ooh.
Probably this way for me. I can't see myself right now. So
you're doing it correct. You're doing it correct. Take a look at light mode. 1, 2, 3.
You have to get to that camera.
Oh, I will. I absolutely will. You
100%. Okay, so yeah, this Jake will talk about what happened here a little bit, but before that, I just want to show take in how beautiful this looks now in comparison to last time. So I'll leave it here.
Okay, I mean, obviously, it's not everything is not completely done here yet with the stellar light mode. But what you can see on your screen right now is a couple things. Number one, if you could show in the top bar that there's now a line at the bottom there that kind of separates perfect. That separates the title from the rest of the chart. That was one of the things that was kind of bleeding into the rest of the chart. If you remember from last time, it looked really bad. The silvery violet thing on the left-hand side here, and if you
panel.
toggle the right-hand panel, you'll
it's the
see it
same
over
one.
there as well. That has been lightened up quite a bit, but I think the most substantial change, which doesn't seem like it should be like worth talking about, but is that there's this idea in dark mode that like having it being kind of atmospheric means that you can kind of put colors everywhere. If you put colors everywhere in light mode, what ends up happening is that your eye is drawn in a way that like, first of all, it looked a little dingy, which I fixed some of the colors. And also your eye was kind of bouncing all over the place. Where it was very atmospheric in dark mode, it looked very distracting in light mode. So now all of the kind of atmospheric elements are anchored at the top of the screen. So you can see like those things, those background things that Trey are showing right here.
Without the rest of the stuff.
So essentially what it does is it brings a little bit more gravity towards the sky, towards the top of it, and stops drawing your eye down and having lots of bounces. For some reason, I don't know why, from a human factors perspective, in dark mode, it looks better when it's kind of spotlighted all over the place, but in light mode, it needs to be on the top. That was just a theory of mine. It worked out really well.
Yeah.
Still going to work on iterating on this stuff. Like, for example, if you go to the cast chart dialogue in light mode and stellar light, you'll see that it's like a little washed out. I think there's some dimensionality we can bring to some of these elements in here to make it look a little bit less white on white type of like hospital kind of coloration. Anyways, there's more work that's going to be done here. It is not required for our cycle 90, or soon thereafter finish we're going to do here, but we're working on it, and that's what I'm most excited about on this.
Yeah, it just looks like night and day different to my eyes from what we had before with the like kind of dingy coloring and and that moving those background colors up to the top. It's subtle, but it makes all the difference. It just really, really looks better.
It looks a lot better.
Yeah, I don't know if all of that's going to come through in the video, but when it is in your hands,
when it's in your hands,
gentle viewer,
you'll love it.
You'll love it. That's our guarantee.
You will love it,
or your money back if you
love
pay for
it. You will drop those weights and you will love it. Okay, cool. So now that I've yelled at you, let's go back to work. What should the good viewer do with their time and energy here on this beautiful Saturday at the end of May?
Go to the library. Have we ever said go to the library?
Probably, but you know what? Go back to the library.
Go back to the library.
You got yelled at. You got yelled at because you were eating food in the library, and then you got all offended. Like, just don't eat food in the library. It's okay. Or do eat food if you're allowed to do so.
But don't bring your gun.
Please don't bring your gun to the library. We really would appreciate if you don't bring your gun. Be well.
Somebody brought the gun to the library.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. You know what. Be well, take care, have yourself a beautiful Saturday. Whatever day you watch this video, we will see you again next week. And we love you very much. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.